Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on the benefits appertaining to discovering market inefficiencies as a reseller. So, why is it deemed to be highly beneficent to discover market inefficiencies as a reseller? What are the ample benefits appertaining to discovering market inefficiencies as a reseller? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Discovering market inefficiencies as a reseller can present you with lucrative opportunities to be able to maximize your seller surplus. If you capitalize on procuring the merchandise for significantly lower prices than its true market values, and subsequently resell the merchandise via online on global e-commerce platforms to be able to receive the market values of the merchandise. As a seller, you want to be able to procure products that are egregiously undervalued and resell them for at least their market values via online on global e-commerce platforms. When you sell items online, you're able to minimize your overhead costs relative to selling items in brick and mortar stores. Furthermore, when you sell items online, you can sell them for top dollar because you're able to sell items to a global market in lieu of a local market. So, when you discover market inefficiencies as a reseller that you capitalize on, it can allow you to amplify your product offerings and cultivate a robust reseller brand via online on global e-commerce platforms. It can also be conducive to allowing you to attain substantial brand recognition. You want to be able to foster brand loyalty and attain robust brand equity. You can even pass on discounts to customers if you so choose to do so. If you can procure homogeneous products for significantly lower prices than their true market values, post-discovering market inefficiencies, then you could afford to sell these homogeneous products via online on global e-commerce platforms at lower prices than your competitors if you so choose to pass on discounts to customers. So, by discovering market inefficiencies and capitalizing on them as a reseller, it can be conducive to allowing you to cultivate an enormous customer base, especially if you offer enticing prices for homogeneous products. Sellers undercut one another all the time in order to boost their sales volume and in order to more expeditiously cultivate a customer base. You want to have a loyal customer base as a reseller. When you grow a reseller business on a multitude of global e-commerce platforms, it provides you with a business to sell in the pending future if your company owns it and has a substantial amount of inventory to sell. So, when you discover market inefficiencies as a reseller, it can allow you to have a lucrative career as a reseller if you capitalize on procuring the products for significantly lower prices than their market values and subsequently reselling them via online on e-commerce platforms to be able to receive the market values of these products. You want to be able to not only have a lucrative career as a reseller, but also not have your income be tethered to your time. You do not want your earnings potential to be capped nor fettered by an infinitesimal, measly hourly wage imposed by an employer. You do not want your earnings potential to be bound to your time. You want it to be limitless, to say the least. As a reseller, you have an uncapped, unfettered earnings potential, and it's not tethered to your time. Sales can transpire at any given moment, even when you're slumbering or not online or are away from your computer. Additionally, you're going to more than likely be less prone to succumb into chronic stress, chronic burnout, and chronic fatigue when you are able to regain purview over your time as a result of being a successful reseller. So, discovering market inefficiencies can be a precursor to being profoundly successful as a reseller. You want to be able to buy items for significantly lower prices than their market values and resell the items at least for their market values or close to their market values so that you can reap a positive return on investment. You want to be able to generate sales revenue and profits. And you can even afford to discount your merchandise and still be profitable and still reap seller surplus if you procure the merchandise for significantly lower prices than its market values. You can find merchandise for steep discounts at a vast variety of disparate settings, such as thrift stores, pawn shops, garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, storage unit auctions, dollar stores, and even retail stores if you check the clearance aisles. So, it can be highly beneficent to discover market inefficiencies as a reseller, especially since it allows you to enrich other people's lives if you are rendering useful products that have tremendous utility to a global target market. Not everyone is able to procure products in person due to being location bound, and you are at liberty as a reseller to pass on discounts to customers who are domiciled throughout the world if you so choose to do so. But you should not forgo availing yourself of this opportunity. You want to be able to cultivate a lucrative, robust reseller brand across a multitude of popular global e-commerce platforms. And you want to be able to avail yourself of opportunities to maximize your seller surplus. You want to be able to cultivate a lucrative customer base, procure desirable merchandise for significantly lower prices than its market values, and capitalize on reselling the merchandise for at least its market values so that you can draw forth a profitable, lucrative, fruitful business as a reseller. If you want to pivot out of the reseller business, if you have a company with a substantial amount of merchandise and that has a presence across a multitude of popular global e-commerce platforms, and that also has a behemoth of a reseller brand, then you can sell it in the pending future for a premium price to someone who wants to dabbling to the reseller business without starting their own reseller business. They can buy your reseller business if they'd prefer to do that in lieu of starting their own reseller business. So there is so much upside appertaining to discovering market inefficiencies as a reseller, even on the back end. It could provide you with a business to sell in the pending future if you have a company and so choose to relinquish it to another reseller or to another prospective reseller who wants to enter into the second-hand market. And if you can find products for steep discounts and pass on these discounts to customers who are domiciled around the world, then you are helping to enrich other people's lives, especially if the products that you are selling provides them with tremendous utility for assuaging their needs. I hope that you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.